What's up, guys? Today we're going to be talking about 3 different ways that you can take the A site on Mirage. I've watched a few pro demos lately and wanted to share some cool examples from a recent matchup between FaZe and Vitality. But before we dive into all the details, I want to thank today's sponsor, Skins Monkey. For those of you that don't know, Skins Monkey is an automated CS2 trading site that allows you to select the old skins you don't want anymore and pick out some new ones from the monkey. It's a great way to freshen up that old dusty inventory, and hey, that's not all. They have some amazing filter and selection features, as well as 24/7 live support. If you click the link in the description, you can get a free $5 and a 30% deposit bonus that becomes 35% if you use my code TACTICS on the site. Don't miss out on this offer and check out Skins Monkey today. Let's get back into the video. So let's get started with the easiest set you could possibly learn. You're going to have Kerrigan on pistol round here with a smoke and a molly. He's going to go shoulder into the wall and a simple left click throw at the satellite. Right afterwards, he's going to do a little left click with a molly, and guess what? He's completely isolated that jungle connector stairs area of the site. And luckily for FaZe, they're going to decide to do a nice triple peek on through the smoke, and Vitality have completely rotated through Ticket. This is going to allow Kerrigan to get a nice one-on-one duel. He goes down, and after a big flurry of trades, well, guess what? Rops is going to lose that 1 versus 2 for an easy pistol win for FaZe. Now, one thing to keep in mind, this isn't just a pistol round strat. Here we have ZywOo throwing that exact same utility combo here on a 9-6 full buy versus full buy. And notice how they end up getting hit with a little bit of FaZe utility, but ZywOo's going to go out here and trade out Frozen. And the best part about this one is the fact they have Rops lurking, doing what Rops does best. He's going to completely backstab FaZe here, get an easy 2K, and this round is over. So let's talk about it. I think the reason this is such a commonly used set is the fact that it's extremely easy first and foremost. You're in a good position to throw it because right after you throw both of these pieces of utility, you're already in a great position to start trading. Not only does it help you move up, break the crossfire, and allow you to take fights onto site, it's also going to prevent anyone from being up here on stairs and trading out or outright killing anyone that's moving up through Palace. This is just a fantastic set to throw, especially in pugs when you're not as structured. Your teammates may be a little too impatient to wait for a proper execute. Now let's go ahead and go for a polar opposite type of play, a very detailed full execute that's going to start off with Frozen throwing a top mid smoke that Kerrigan's going to use to make sure there's no CT aggression, and also put some pressure by smoking off connector fully. This is a nice easy lineup that's going to put a lot of pressure onto the A players. Now in the meantime, Rain is setting up for a simple stair smoke by doing a left and right click jump throw right here, and he's also going to do a simple left click with a flash to blind all of sight. Rewinding a little bit, let's take a look at what Jacob was doing in the background. He goes right here to the pillar between the windows, and he's going to end up just doing a simple left click throw for a jungle smoke right here in this angle. Also, of course, he's going to pair up a little flash to layer up to help his teammates get out. Of course, going back to Brokey, he's been right here on this flat corner of the wall along the dot, and he's just going to do a simple jump throw at this plank to completely smoke off all of CT Ticket. And hey, one thing to notice, every single player in this execute has been throwing some form of entry or layered flash to just help with those initial fights. Frozen's also going to throw a nice little HE to damage anyone towards jungle, and now let's back up towards Frozen. Before all of this went down, he was lining up a nice balcony Molotov to just flush out anyone from that close position or down under balcony. He's going to throw it right as the execute comes on out, and just like that, as all this utility is coming through, he's going to do a little spamming, but then pop out and end up getting that opening kill onto Flames. And of course, you can't forget about Kerrigan here, throwing a nice molly onto Sandwich, and then also being ready to throw an extra supporting flash, like this one right here. Although it does look like it maybe blinds a couple of his teammates, but overall they get a super clean sight take. They even spam another player through the smoke, and I want to look at this from the Vitality POV. ZywOo gets full blinded, misses his op shot. Flames is here, he gets blinded once, he's holding up, gets blind a second time, and there's just nothing he can really do. This is a super powerful execute that just nets FaZe the 5 versus 3 post plant just like that. So starting off, you had a very easy, you just go into this corner, left click at the top of this, and that is your very simple Frozen smoke here. It's landing top mid. That's what allowed Kerrigan to move up, hold for any sort of aggression. He went up onto the corner, and he just did a simple left click throw with a smoke to the top right of these windows. That's going to land here inside a connector, and that is a very easy full spreading connector smoke. Once the actual site hit started coming in, you of course had Rain throwing the stair smoke, and he likes to go right here into this corner, and he's just going to get stuck in. He's going to do a nice left and right click jump throw to the left of this dark spot here, right alongside the lining here in the brick. So again, left and right click jump throw, that's gonna bounce off here. It'll land up here on the far side of stairs and completely smoke that off. It's not gonna bleed down here into sandwich, and that is all by design. Now, of course, while Rain was throwing that, you had Jacob right here in between these two windows on the pillar, and you just did a simple left click throw up into the left of this little angle. That is a very simple jungle smoke, so when that's paired with Rain's stair smoke, you just had a very nice and clean smoke set right here. Of course, you also had Brokey along this flat part of the wall. There's a dot right here he was lined up with, and you just did a simple jump throw onto this little wooden plank here. So that's going to end up landing. It should bounce off the ground, land up on top of CT Ticket, and be a nice smoke to completely fill in all of that. And of course, you just have a very easy 3-man smoke set if it's thrown at the same time. Supporting utility, you of course had Kerrigan going right here and doing a left click onto this dot. That's a really easy sandwich molly. I love throwing that one. And you had, of course, Frozen throwing the molly that's going to end up landing down here under balcony. So that's going to burn out anyone from here. I think his missed a little bit. And if you're ever in a situation where this is smoked off and you can't really get a good feel for where that angle is, to be safe, you can always go here into this corner. You can aim down where this line intersects with the column of the door, and you can just hold S and D. If we look at the minimap, you can just hold S and D until you end up in this corner, and then you're just gonna do a simple left click throw, and that's gonna pop straight down and do the exact same thing. So whatever works for you, go right ahead and do that. But overall, that's pretty much all the utility that was used for this phase of the hit. Of course, most of the flashes were just improvised, thrown up over. I did like Rain's flash where he just went down here and just did a left click like this. It sort of popped up off the stairs, and that's designed to blind anyone that's set up here taking a peek like this. That ended up getting Zywoo to take a shot and fall off. So that's a really good flash in my opinion, just as sort of an opening flash before your teammates drop down and start running up through here. It'll just take care of anyone up here on top of stairs. Finally, let's take a look at how Rain throws a solo execute for the A site. So first, he's going to throw that same stair smoke as we looked at earlier with a left and right click jump throw. But after that, he's going to do a simple left click throw here for a jungle smoke, and then he's going to aim just above this dark mark with a molly to molly out sandwich. This is just an easy solo full execute to isolate that right side of the site and allow his teammates to get on out. FaZe like to use this on anti-eco rounds, and as you can see, it does a pretty good job of isolating a duel onto Apex. All right, finally, let's just do a full breakdown on this set. Of course, we've already seen Rain's stair smoke. You go to the left of this, nice left and right click jump throw. Then afterwards, he's just gonna do a simple left click throw on the left-hand side here, and there are your smokes. Right afterwards, you're just gonna do a nice simple left click throw at this dark spot on the wall, and you have a 2-smoke, 1 molly execute. It's gonna help your teammates out every single time. You could, of course, pair up that flash we talked about from that first set. It's gonna pop up and help your teammates get out. Overall, I think this is a really good set to learn, especially for solo queuing players, which I assume is a lot of my viewers. All right, guys, that just about wraps up everything I wanted to talk about in this video. But before I go, I want to thank all of my amazing channel members on screen right now, and I'll see you guys in the next one.